Good day, children of the cosmos. The phrase Indigo Child or Indigo Kid was coined when discussing the aura colors of these extremely distinct children. It refers to an improved version of mankind. Auric fields had previously been thought to contain all the colors of the rainbow, but the Indigos field was dominated by a royal blue hue. Thus, a new direction in human evolution and their indigo aura is established. They first started showing up in the 1970s, gifted kids with a clear mission, to question and change reality. Beyond psychic awareness, they exhibit great levels of drive and creativity as well as a perception that sees through societal conventions. Old spirits for sure, their goal is to upend the present world and pave the way for a future in which there is more peace and harmony for all. Don't let the term deter you from learning more about the idea of Indigo Children, because both of these generations of children are now in their late teens and early adulthood. 13 Characteristics of Indigo Kids. Here are a few personality qualities that might feel similar if you're curious about your possible connection to this particular soul lineage. First characteristic. You experience spiritual awakening. You have known from an early age that you are connected to something spiritually superior than most people and that you were born to be a light worker. Second characteristic. You were meant to be here. You are self-assured, at times bordering on arrogant, and inspired by something far bigger than yourself. You are aware that your presence on this planet is intended to bring about good change. You are aware that those who were born on this planet are evolving and rising, and that they require support as they undergo metamorphosis. Third characteristic. You set high standards for both yourself and others. This may lead to difficult encounters and relationships. You only see the finest, and you want everyone else to measure up. You can be relentlessly critical of yourself. Don't let this defeat you, instead, use it to encourage both you and those around you. However, keep in mind that not everyone will be as motivated as you are. Fourth characteristic. You possess a powerful intuition. The world is seen differently by Indigos. Your tendency to believe your way is the best and your inherent sense of self-assurance make you angry when others do not share your viewpoint, much alone act on it. You are sure there wouldn't be any issues if Indigos dominated the globe. Fifth characteristic. You challenge authority. Since you don't want to compromise and are adamant about your beliefs, you tend to be disobedient and skeptical of those in positions of authority. Know how to get into the good and honorable kinds of problems because this could occasionally lead you into trouble. Sixth characteristic. You wish to overturn the man. You frequently develop an aversion to what other people perceive as usual and find difficulty and rigidity in systems. These methods could also seem outdated in comparison to ones you are familiar with and think are far more efficient. Keep calm and remember that these enormous systems that need to be changed are similar to huge ships that can't always be turned on a dime. Seventh characteristic. You're original. Your artistic talent inspires others to view the world through your musical and aesthetically inclined eyes. Develop this skill. Eighth characteristic. You are an agent of change. You are such a great leader because you are so conscious of society's flaws. You constantly discover new and more effective ways to conduct business, live in a chaotic environment that is expanding and changing, and to survive. Ninth characteristic. Your soul is lost. You are aware that you are unique compared to most others, which makes you feel out of place around others. You may have a tendency to be an outcast or rebel, unwilling to give in merely to fit in. 10th characteristic. You are obstinate. You are aware of your value and are unwilling to back down from facing what feels inconsistent with your sense of integrity because the Indigo soul mission is ingrained in your very being. 11th characteristic. You are driven and enthusiastic. While having a fiery temperament might be challenging, you are not someone who likes to be silent or inactive. These two qualities should and do complement one another because excessive passion might have unfavorable effects. Develop these qualities and make use of them in concert. 12th characteristic. You possess psychic gifts. Your psychic ability, clairvoyance, empath, telepathy, is well honed and doesn't require any further development. Although you don't think much of your talent, it provides you an advantage in people reading and in seeing past masks. 13th. You feel irritated. You become easily irritated with society and other people who are not changing rapidly enough when combined with their big picture vision and restless spiritual need for change. It is important to practice being patient. Not all members of this generation have this new genetic makeup. The first few were referred to as scouts, examining the environment to determine whether more people might be brought in. We shouldn't think of becoming an indigo as something ideal. Not at all. Beyond the weight of duty that such recognition would entail, we have seen firsthand how the indigo's passion may occasionally paralyze them. Children who are indigo are meant to confront society, make changes, and speak up against what they see to be its defects. They will need to dramatically change their life's purpose once this assignment is finished. People who are knocked off their life's course too soon, that is, when their efforts to advance are frustrated or ignored, frequently turn inward. Indigos are frequently given medications like Ritalin to help them calm down after a perceived irregularity as part of their treatment for attention deficit hyperactivity disorder. In actuality, indigos are simply coping with the stress of being confined to their earthly bodies while also feeling the obligation to contribute more significantly to humanity. Many indigos have been seen struggling with severe sadness, low self-esteem, addictions, and even suicidal thoughts. Because of how powerful this controlling battering ram is, when they are unable to bring about the changes they are adamantly in favor of, they may turn inward. Being mocked or ignored is the worst thing that can happen to an indigo, since they have hawk-like perception, are able to identify potential hazards, and are driven to effect change on a large scale. As they age, indigo individuals are even more prone to depression, particularly if they feel as though they haven't been able to make a major impact on the world. Indigo grown-ups should establish support networks with people who are going through similar things, or at least be aware that they are not alone in their struggles. The integrity of the indigo children is one of their most loved qualities. They possess it inside and are able to detect deceit in others. Due to the corruption and indifference of the world, they might not always see this as a gift. They may not be able to articulate their confidence if challenged, but they carry a strong sense that they are right. My dear children of the cosmos, do you think you are an indigo child?